It is a contentious back and forth between actress Scarlett Johansson and Disney now with a lawsuit. The star of Black Widow, you're seeing a clip here, sued Disney for releasing the new superhero film on Disney Plus and in theaters at the same time. Her suit alleges the film's release to Disney's streaming service violated her contract, but Disney says it fully complied. And get this, that Scarlett Johansson is showing, quote, callous disregard for the pandemic. CAA, Scarlett Johansson's reps, fire back at this. HLN legal analyst Joey Jackson is with me. Really a back and forth here. Is it all, Joey, about the contract and the writing in it? Good morning.
Yeah, Susan, good morning to you. That is exactly what this is all about. So let's remember that this is really happening on the cusp of the pandemic. What am I talking about, right? People saying cusp of the pandemic, we're 16 months in and it could be getting worse. So just to clarify, the film, of course, was supposed to be released in May of 2020 and the pandemic happening just before that. Why is any of what I'm saying relevant? It's relevant because when you speak to the issue of the contract, it would be interesting to note whether the contract had any provisions in it which contemplated anything like this, right? Now that we're in the pandemic, Susan, and hopefully out of it, right, you're going to see contracts that are more ironclad, that contemplate other streaming sources, that look at things outside of theaters. According to her, it says, or she's saying, her representatives are saying, that it limited, right, the compensation and other issues, and what she agreed to was limited around theatrical performances. So that would really limited it to movie theaters. However, it depends what, if anything else in the contract would permit, allow, or enable Disney to really release it on other streaming sources. And if they did so, what her compensation would be. And so to your original question, absolutely, it depends what was in the contract, how it could be interpreted, what we can contemplate about what each side meant. I'm suspecting, however, that based upon the fact that, there are millions at stake here, and as we look at her, she's such a superstar, they'll keep her happy, there'll be some settlement, and this could likely go away.
Yeah, Joey, her attorney's firing back to Disney, saying this is part of a statement. It's no secret Disney is releasing films directly to Disney Plus to increase subscribers, to boost the company's stock price, and that it's hiding behind COVID as a pretext to do so, going on to say there is no merit whatsoever. Disney says this to this filing. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the pandemic. Wow. Joey, as an attorney, do you find that it's more helpful to just, communicate with the other attorneys on the other side and say, look, we're in an unprecedented situation. Let's make this work contract-wise. And you mentioned an excellent point. I think this sets the cursor for future actors and actresses when they are writing a contract.
It really does, and I think that there will be some resolution. There are things when you write a contract, you try to contemplate, you try to foresee, you try to look at different contingencies. Who could have foreseen this? And so I think ultimately, though it is and very much dependent upon the contract, it is, as you mentioned, also precedent setting. What happens here, I think, will certainly affect other actors and actresses who have looked at and who have had their films really delayed as a result of this pandemic. So this is really interesting stuff. Again, I don't think because of the millions involved, let's just really, really quickly tell you that in the last 13 years, what did Marvel make, right? $320 million,
yes.
Right? And she made. So it's crazy. It's going to be rather significant to look at, evaluating to see what ends up happening here.
Scarlett Johansson versus Disney. Joey Jackson, thank you. We'll be following.
Thank you so much.